All right, guys, this is day 51 of the bulk here, doing chest today. So I've been kind of starting to show what I do for my warm-ups. Typically, I would go in first doing shoulders, but today I'm going to warm up the triceps, just mainly because we have a push sort of chest day. So making sure, the triceps are warmed up are always a good idea because, not only are they getting hit on each chest set, even if you don't do triceps at the end of the workout, you can get a pretty sufficient tricep pump during the workout. So even though this is just a warm-up, these will be our only sets of triceps. And instead, we are going to finish it off with some abs at the end. So I know I don't go crazy into detail about what I do for abdominals, but stick around to see what I like to do the best for ab development, because I'll be showing it off at the end of the video. But until then, we have some chest to knock out. Didn't realize this was going to be an up shorts view. So skipping on to the first set of chest. So this is after my warm-up set, which I usually warm up with 60s. And today, feeling pretty warm day in the gym. So we're going straight to the hundos, flat bench today. So making sure we get a lot of power through our reps. But yeah, just taking it smooth. This is the first set, so we're pretty fresh. And just trying to maximize the reps today, since it's pretty much an all-out push day. So the 100s have been feeling pretty easy on chest day. So taking it up a notch to 120. Now, although I don't do flat bench too often, it's still the easiest angle for me. Just because, I do have a pretty developed mid to lower chest. That's the main part you're going to be hitting with these. It's still smooth. So repping out 120s here. And yeah, towards the end of the set, the reps, they become a little bit of a struggle, but, still pushing them up relatively easy. None of these reps are really, battle reps. Maybe the last one, but it's already 12, so done with the set. All right, now here I'm taking the angle up. So we're up a couple notches into incline, but we're keeping the weight the same. So got a spotter here. Always a good idea if you have somebody available, get a spotter, especially if you're doing this heavy of weight, even if it's dumbbell. Dumbbell's always your safer option, but it's good to have a spotter there. So what she's doing is she's mainly, stabilizing my elbow joints. I'd say for me, that's not been an issue, but, when you're not wrapped with, elbow sleeves or wrist wraps, you got to take it easy on the joints. So she's kind of my triceps for this set, if you will, just kind of aiding on the elbow push. So another set, 120 incline knocked out, and dropping the weight down, 35 pounds here. So what I've noticed from doing, a test for what weight feels the best for me, it's got to be the 85s on incline bench. So that's why we're coming down all the way to 85, trying to bring the dumbbells down deep so I can get that stretch kind of in the outer chest. And yeah, just pushing through some smooth reps, making sure I'm squeezing at the top, especially after you're fatigued from doing heavy sets of 100 or 120. You want to kind of drop it down and keep that sensation going. So that's the whole purpose of dropping the weight down. You want to maximize the amount of reps. Doesn't matter about the weight. It's all about the contraction and the quality of rep. So right here is what I like to call a hybrid fly. You know, my arms, they're not completely straight. They come down straight to a point, but I'm mostly dipping the elbows down to get that stretch, just because you can stabilize that weight a little more carefully as you come down with your elbows instead of straight arm. So that's what allows me to get heavy dumbbell flies. Let's move. All right, so right here we're switching gyms. Well, not necessarily switching gyms. This is just the second gym in the club, so that we could use these hammer strength presses. So quick little 2-plate, I would say, warm up here, but as you can tell, towards the last few reps, it kind of starts to hit. You know, trying to maintain the push strength, since, like I said, this mainly is a push day. Trying to keep the weight up. So we got 3 plates here. And yeah, the main thing is the longevity of pressing the heavy weights. So that's the only reason why I have 3 plates on here. You know, if you can get a few sets of machine presses, heavy machine presses, after either dumbbell or barbell, you know, you're in the right direction. Obviously here I'm resorting to the partial reps because, you know, I'm already pumped and fatigued. So that's why I'm tapping the chest here, you know, trying to keep the pump in there. But it calls for a significant drop in weight when that happens. So here we are off to the crossbody presses. So I'm just trying to focus on that mid chest, you know, smashing that pec in and creating those striations in the middle. So that's the theory behind this one. I mean, this is something I've been doing for quite a while. I've always mixed this into my chest days whenever I had the hammer strengths in particular available. So getting a couple sets of these in, not a bad idea for your chest day. Try it out. And then usually if I like to get some unilateral work in, I like to try to finish it off by, you know, cranking out as many reps as I can with both arms at the end, just to kind of fatigue out the muscle completely. So keeping the arms wide for this one, you know, trying to hit that outer pec since we mainly hit inner pec, and hold the contraction. Simply, you know, you want to keep that blood flow directly to the muscle. So that's what we're doing here. All right, so finishing off the chest day with some flies. So nothing crazy heavy here. You know, the chest was pretty much fatigued in just under an hour here. So finishing off with some chest flies. As you can see, I'm pretty pumped, so I can't even take those cables all the way together. You know, they're probably about 3 inches apart in separation at the end. So that is full contraction for me. So that's why, you know, I'm not touching them together, just kind of letting the chest contract naturally. And also try to switch up the angle. So as you can see, I'm coming down an angle from that one, and now when I switch it, I go from the bottom up. So, you know, technically these are incline flies, and most people would do these, you know, thinking that you're gonna hit just the upper chest, but I actually take the flexion starting from the bottom and try to work the way to the top. So this is mainly a lower pec exercise for me. So that's why I'm not going crazy high with the cables. I like to, you know, feel the contraction in the lower pec, and yeah, a good way to finish off the chest day. And like I said before, I was going to reveal what it is I like to do for ab development, and that is the ab wheel. So unlike a standard stationary plank where you're just kind of sitting there on your forearms and holding a plank, this one you could hit much more. Sometimes in the plank, I might feel a little bit more upper abs and lower abs, but as you're moving the wheel, you go straight from the lower abs to the upper ab region when you're fully stretched. And, it also works the stability in the shoulders, and it's just overall a good exercise. So I like to crank out like 10 to 15 and then move on. Also try to hit those obliques. I'm doing some Russian twists. Now for me, I'm not trying to have a blocky waist. So most of the ab exercises I'm doing are non-weighted. So I just kind of hold on to the ab wheel and do my twists instead of grabbing a weight or a medicine ball. It just helps with, getting those deep cuts in the obliques without having to build a blocky waist. So that's my personal preference and what I would say are my two favorite exercises for the midsection. Also doing a little knee to chest crunches, if you will, with the hands supporting the back. A lot of people have lower back fatigue when they're doing these ab exercises, and it's one thing you can do to kind of counter that, keep the hands on the floor, although it's not going to work the abs as much as staying stabilized. And finishing off with some incline treadmill today. So showing off the settings on what I usually, speed walk for about 10-15 minutes. I like to put the incline up to 15%, which in most cases it's max, and keep a steady 3 mile an hour, which is the pace you're seeing, not a speed walk, but a fast walk, and when you're on that incline, it definitely makes it harder. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like and subscribe if you're following along with the bulk. We got many days to go. So I will see you guys in bulk day 52. Peace.